yourself name. Oh. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. How long have you been watching? So dumb. Anyway, what's up, Lucid Crew? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lucid Rob, and if this is your first time here, well then, check this out. We're best friends and we just met. That's how this is. That's how this Lucid Crew works. We're just bonded from the beginning, from the get-go, from the jump, off the cuff. Lots of other ways of saying things that mean the same thing. If this is your first time watching and you like what you see, consider liking, subscribing to the channel, join the Discord, send me videos that you want me to watch, and I'll incorporate them in future videos. I appreciate you all greatly, but without dragging this on any further, let's get into some weird TikToks from all over the internet.
Did you know that you are the only living person on Earth right now, and everyone else is just a product of your imagination? Listen carefully, you'll be shocked. There's a theory where you are actually the only living person right now, the only consciousness that truly exists. It's called the egg theory. Your family, your friends, the strangers you pass on the street, all of them exist because your mind doesn't want to feel alone. But here's the eerie part of this theory. Since you are the sole true consciousness, you will live every possible life that has ever existed and will ever exist. You will be reincarnated and born billions and billions of times until you have lived every individual's life. And then you can hatch this egg and become a god. The entire universe was created as an egg for the main character, which is you. And once you have lived every human life ever, you will be born as a god. Every time you hurt someone, you are hurting yourself. It may sound horrific, but you wouldn't know if you've already lived billions of lives. You've probably already lived over 1 billion, and you just don't remember. You probably lived your mother's life, your cousins, the stranger across the street. In reality, you are me and I am you. So every single person you know and will ever know was you.
So that theory is based on a short story by the author and novelist Andy Weir. He's actually the guy that wrote the book The Martian, which became the movie The Martian that starred Matt Damon. But I love that fucking story. That's such a dope theory. And it's such a crazy thing to think. But I kind of like the idea of everything just being a part of our existence, right? I mean, I love more than me existing, right? I don't want to sound like a fucking narcissist here. But it's a cool thought to think that everything is connected in that way. Everything is just one consciousness kind of branched off into many so that it can experience the fullness of life simultaneously. I know, something very poetic about that and really interesting. So
friends began to notice that 35-year-old Danielle Harkins, a school teacher in Florida, started acting strangely in June of 2012, and soon after she was arrested for the abuse of 7 students. Danielle told her students they needed to rid their bodies of demons while they gathered around a fire just before dusk. She instructed them to cut their skin to let the evil spirits out. She then told them they needed to burn those wounds to ensure the spirits wouldn't return. When Danielle held a lighter to one of her students' hands, a gush of wind came and blew it out. This prompted her to douse her student's hand in perfume and set it on fire, and that student suffered from second-degree burns. Another student was cut in the neck with a broken bottle. Danielle used a flame to heat a small key, which she then used to cauterize the wound. Danielle spent 6 months in jail for child abuse and child endangerment, but when she was released, she vanished from the face of the earth, and nobody seems to know where she is today.
Yo, that's not demonic possession. That bitch is just off her meds. So I had this conversation with a friend, not exactly about this topic, obviously, but just about people in positions of authority not being, I guess, vetted well enough before they're given jobs. And I know that people can change over time. Things can happen to make people fucking go crazy. Things can happen in very high tension situations to where you can't really gauge how a person will act in a situation until it happens. And a lot of this conversation had to do with like authority, you know, law enforcement and stuff. But in this case, it kind of bleeds over into thinking like we have to do a better job of vetting people that are responsible for our safety, for, you know, our family, for our children's safety, which I know is impossible. People make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes people just are really good at lying or just haven't quite gone crazy yet. So there will always be situations to where fucked up shit happens like this, unfortunately. But I feel like there are ways, or there should be fail-safes in place and longer periods of analysis of the individual to avoid the stuff from happening as much as it does. Let me know what you think about that. Obviously, this fucking broad was crazy. She probably just pieced out when she got out of prison because the townspeople probably wanted to fucking burn her ass up like she was Freddy Krueger, right? I mean, it's probably where she went.
What is happening with our planet?
Crash team to advise the U.S. All members of crash team report.
So did all of that happen in the same hospital? Is it the same day? Skeptical about this because of course I am, but I'm a little more skeptical even because the second clip where the nurse that was standing there disappeared. It was like a noticeable delay in reaction from everybody around here. I mean, if I'm talking to somebody that disappeared in front of me, I'm not going to just continue looking at where that person was standing. I don't know. It was just, the delay was a little too long. I think it was just shitty editing. That just kind of killed the whole thing for me. There's been a lot of talk about people disappearing and stuff. I still haven't seen the clip with the kids on the school bus. I'm gonna look that up, actually. Let me look that shit up. Hold on.
Have you seen the video of where the kids mysteriously disappeared off of a school bus?
Lord, thank you. That's what I like. Thank you. That's what I like.
In the video, the school bus driver is seen to have gotten in some kind of a bad traffic. Then as he looks back, he is shocked to not see anyone in the bus.
Is everybody okay?
Then the encounter with the policemen where they are trying to find the kids.
There's no accident here, okay? Look around the bus. There's no...
Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. I know you didn't get an accident, you just told me that.
Okay.
The kids are gone.
They're gone. I don't know where they went.
How many kids total?
45, 50.
Okay, do me a favor. Stand right there. Stand right there. Do it now, please.
Look at it.
Stand right there.
Nothing wrong with
Do not move.
They just went.
I'm gonna take a look. Hello? Hello?
The video is obtained from a religious website where some claim it was Rapture, while others said it's fake. But what do you think about this? Resembling Nicolas Cage movie Left Behind, where the true...
I wasn't sure about that to begin with, but it said it was obtained from a religious website. So I think it's probably just fucking fake. I mean, honestly, it's just like the other one. It's probably fucking fake. Probably just like religious propaganda, or just you don't know, man, dude. That's the thing about all these, dude. All this stuff, like you never know if this content has an ulterior motive, like the creation behind it. It could just be for fun, like in a lot of cases. It could just be something that's created for fun. Not this specifically, but just these kinds of videos in general. It could just be for fun. Then you have stuff like this that could be like, just propaganda, religious propaganda. And then you can have stuff of UFOs. It's just, government propaganda. It's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. I just started seeing these kind of disappearing videos. I know they're probably a little older. You guys probably already seen the bus one, but I figured I'd check it out because I hadn't seen it yet. So let me know what you think about that. If there's any information you have about it, if it was a hoax, if it's still just, if it did originate on the religious website or wherever the fuck it came from, just any information you have, give it to me if you would.
Are you getting exposed to forever chemicals?
I'm Dr. Tim, and your body can't break down forever chemicals called PFAS. Some studies suggest that they may increase risk of cancers such as in the liver and kidneys, in addition to risk of endocrine disruption and reproductive issues. Two main types of PFAS are called PFOA and PFOS, which some countries have already banned.
The following items have PFAS, like non-stick cookware, grease-resistant paper, personal care products like dental floss, even possibly your tap water.
See my next video on tips to avoid PFAS and follow me to live a healthier life.
The survival of the fittest is so important. That's a stupid way to fucking say it. That's a dumb way to say it. I didn't mean to say important. It is important, but basically everything is trying to get us. Everything since the beginning of time has been trying to get us. You figure with the way that the universe works and the earth, everything is trying to get you. Survival of the fittest is a prevalent theory because so many species have since died off due to natural conditions or interstellar natural disasters, like whatever the case may be, whatever wiped out civilization and the planet before. Everything since the beginning of time is created to destroy us. And we've survived. We've carried on. We've made it this far along with all the other species on the planet. So it is insane to me that we are still using things that we know are harming us and that we know are causing long-term damage. And also that there are people and corporations and whoever that are either intentionally trying to speed up the process of our demise or just passively doing it because it's profitable. And they're like, whatever. Like, it is like 1 in billions % chance that we are here right now, that we were born, that our species survived, that we've thrived on this planet. Let's just, like, God and creation aside, right? Let's just say strictly off of mainstream science here. It is a miracle it is that we are here right now watching this video together. And yet there are things that we are creating that are actively harming us, just destroying us and getting rid of us. It's so insane, dude. Literally nobody cherishes life. Everyone just takes life for granted. Everyone takes existence for granted. And it's just bonkers to me. Sorry for that rant. It was really hard to get those thoughts out. I couldn't get the words right, but I hope that made sense. I promise I'm not high right now. I am sometimes, but not right now.
So this video is going to be highly controversial for obvious reasons because it's pretty much impossible to be unbiased on this topic, but I'll give it a go anyway and try to be unbiased as possible regardless. So essentially this morning a full-blown civil war erupted between Israel and Palestine. Israel is in blue and Palestine currently is in yellow and green. With the Palestinian group Hamas launching a surprise attack on Israel out of the Gaza Strip here, as you can see in green. Hamas generally being described as a Palestinian Islamic fundamentalist group and also designated as a terrorist group by these countries and organisations you can see next to me. It is worth noting that not all nations or organisations believe Hamas is classified as a terrorist group, such as in the Arabian Peninsula, for example. Certain countries and organisations levelling similar accusations against sects of the Israeli forces. And it's a little complicated, but I think the main reason for these accusations of terrorism being levelled against both Israel and Palestine historically has been due to the death of innocent civilians on both sides. And this has usually come in the form of, let's say, a member of Hamas launching a terrorist attack against Israeli civilians and then Israeli civilians dying as a result. And on the flip side to that, you've got Israeli forces such as in the Israeli Defense Forces who are supposed to go after the terrorists, but there's no doubt that innocent Palestinian civilians get caught in the midst of that. But there have also been arguments and disagreement in relation to the number of civilian deaths on both sides and the type of force that's used. Now that that's out of the way, I'll kind of briefly explain the events that transpired this morning and what could happen in the future. Since Hamas launched these attacks on Israeli settlements this morning, the Israeli Prime Minister declared a state of war with about 40 people being killed in total so far. Around 5,000 rockets already having been fired at Israel, with also a group of Israeli civilians being taken hostage by Hamas. As a result, you'd probably expect the Israeli government to send more ground troops down to the Gaza Strip and also to fire their own rockets into the Strip. Having said all this is probably the biggest development in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict we've had in quite a while. I'll also make sure to keep you guys updated on a daily basis to the events that have transpired in this current conflict.
The world is crazy. So I know people say that silence is just as bad as picking the wrong side, but I don't feel like I know enough about this conflict to comment on it. Even being part Jewish myself, I still just can't see myself just commenting blindly on what's happening. It's awful. I have friends that are retreating from both areas. I'm sure I have viewers that are doing the same. And it's a really touchy subject, man. It's really fucked up. It's a really sad state that the world's in right now, and I don't have any other comments outside of that. I don't know enough about this to make an educated comment. I know it's unrealistic to say, like, I just want everyone to stop fighting and everyone to be okay, but honestly, man, I think that's what everybody wants. Sad times, man. Be nice to each other in the comments.
There is a terrifying theory about our universe that the human mind can't comprehend. It's called the eternal universe theory. Many astrophysicists wonder if the Big Bang was merely an event, and not when the universe actually formed, but instead, the theory suggests that the universe has always existed. In this view, the universe is seen as an unchanging and infinite entity, where matter and energy are continually being created to maintain a constant average density as the universe expands. Unlike the widely accepted Big Bang theory, which proposes that the universe originated from a singular point in an event known as the Big Bang, the eternal universe theory suggests that the universe has always existed and will continue to exist indefinitely. This idea challenges the conventional understanding of the cosmos, and raises profound questions about the nature of time, space, and the ultimate fate of the universe. Supporters of the eternal universe theory argue that it provides a more elegant explanation for the universe's existence. By eliminating the need for a cosmic beginning, the theory avoids the conundrum of what preceded the Big Bang or what caused it to occur. It also negates the requirement for a hypothetical singularity, which is a point of infinite density, a concept that currently lies beyond the reach of our scientific understanding. Moreover, an eternal universe implies that the conservation of energy and matter holds true throughout time, reinforcing one of the fundamental principles of physics.
That's one reason why I never saw the logic in arguing over, the existence of a God or not. Because the argument from religious people would be like, well, if there's no God, who created the universe? The Big Bang. Okay, what happened before the Big Bang? We don't know. Nothing. It was just always there. Okay, that doesn't make sense. And then from the opposing side, they'll be like, okay, well, if God created the universe, what was there before God? Oh, well, nothing. He was just always there. Okay, well, who created God? Nobody. God was always there. Okay, well, that doesn't make sense. It's the same argument, right? You could easily call the Big Bang God making, whatever the fuck he made in 7 days. Or you could call, this internal universe God, just always being here, right? I think it's just different ways of calling the same thing something that you relate to and something you connect with. It's the same argument. I never saw a need in arguing about that. I've believed in God and not believed in God and every which way in between throughout my life. And it's always just been the same thing. There's no all-in-one answer aside from just saying either God has just always been there or that the universe has just always been there. But yet people are still arguing about what name to call it. It's dumb to me. I think our focus should be on what we can do now that we are here in order to understand the life that we're living the best, so that we can live the best, so that we can thrive our best, so that we can be the healthiest that we can be, so we can help each other become the best that we can be collectively. And I feel like that's where our focus needs to be, on just how to exist in the moment right now that we're currently living in, while still learning about the past and learning from the past and learning from the future. But our focus just needs to be on, just taking advantage of our short time here and being the best person that we can be and making the biggest positive impact that we can on ourselves and the world and those around us. And that would be my Miss America speech if I were to win Miss America, baby. World peace. World peace, baby. Seriously, though. I mean, just fucking, focus on what's important. You, us, this, life right now. Be the best version of you and help other people be the best version of themselves. It's fucking simple. Life is hard, but it is so unbelievably simple at the same time.
Debunking flat Earth in 60 seconds or less. We first proved the Earth was a sphere using a literal stick in the ground, so it's not hard to understand. Space looks different to people in the southern and northern hemispheres. I mean, compare the moons. This only makes sense if people in Australia are upside down relative to the northern hemisphere. And what about lunar eclipses? The Earth's shadow is cast onto the moon as a perfect circle. And what about our literal photos of Earth? Do flat earthers use GPS? Because GPS only works because of the satellites orbiting our very spherical Earth. And we can see other planets using telescopes. Why are they spherical but Earth isn't? Debunking flat Earth in 60 seconds.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I clicked on that video, I was hoping that he would have better arguments. He didn't really do much for the Globe Defenders there, bud. Oh, fuck.
If this man was alive, he would absolutely crush TikTok. He'd be way more popular than the Kardashians. I'm going to show you part of the talk that this man, Earl Nightingale, gave that so many people have said it has changed their lives forever, and they listen to it every day, so you're definitely going to want to save this.
Let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You will suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now, remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Now let's say that the farmer has two seeds in his hand. One is a seed of corn, the other is nightshade, a deadly poison. He digs two little holes in the earth and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land, and what will happen? Invariably, the land will return what's planted. As it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the two plants. One corn, one poison. Now the human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. A concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion. Misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant, it must return to us. You see, the human mind is the last great unexplored continent on Earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm a huge believer in basically how we program our minds to approach situations and scenarios, good and bad, is 100% responsible for how we react to those things. Like if we're just like erratic and illogical and just irrational, when we step up to do something that is important, we're going to handle it irrationally. We're going to handle it illogically. But when we practice, confidence and logic and rationality, and we basically program our minds to just react to everyday things that way from a place of emotional maturity or confidence, when something big happens that would normally crush us, crush our anxiety, crush us with fear, it's like practice, right? We'll approach that with rationality. We'll approach that with confidence, logic, and we'll be able to handle that situation better because of it. Short story time. So I talk a lot about, training martial arts. I do boxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, done some jiu-jitsu, a little bit of MMA, Taekwondo. I've done things. I used to be a very irrational, illogical person. I used to get very overwhelmed in situations that would like heighten my adrenaline. I mean, if I was in situations of, maybe someone trying to start something with me at a bar, I would be that asshole that would be like, trying to puff up and trying to yell and whatnot to try to, intimidate the other guy or scare him out of it or just kind of gas myself up, right? Boom, let's go, fucking fuck you, whatever, those assholes that you see online a lot and in person, depending on what bars you go to. Though I would recommend not going to those bars anymore because fuck those kind of people. But last year, I was on a date with a girl, our first date. I just met her once, and her ex-boyfriend ended up being at the bar. They kind of got into it a little bit, and I let her handle it first. I was standing and watching, but I was like, okay, they have a history. I'll let her tell them to fuck off. I'll just watch to make sure nothing happens. And so she did. She handled it. I think women are capable of doing that, handling their shit. So I let her do that. I let her handle her shit. A couple minutes later, the guy comes back and grabs her arm, pulls her away from me. Just being a dick. He's just not letting her go. She's trying to walk away. So then I got involved. I'm like, okay, she can no longer handle this situation. So I calmly approached him and I put my hand on his shoulder and I turned him around. I'm like, hey, don't do that. It's not cool. And he starts doing what I used to do. I'm like, fuck you. Don't fucking touch me. Whatever. I went back to yelling at my date. So at that point, I grabbed him and I pushed him back. I'm like, dude, that's not cool. That's really not cool, man. Don't do that. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm letting you know this is not going to happen with me here. You're done. And then he started, doing the whole fuckboy thing where he's like, fucking come on, fucking don't touch me, motherfucker, whatever. And for the first time, because I've been training for a few years now, and I spar, I roll, I get hit. Getting hit doesn't scare me anymore. I remain calm in those situations because I've been sparring for so many years. It was the first time I ever got into an actual altercation with somebody since I've been like training these past like 3 years, like consistently. And my adrenaline didn't go up at all. My mood didn't change. My breathing didn't change. I was still very calm. And like in my mind, I'm just like more so disappointed. I'm like, God damn it. Like, really gonna have to fight this guy? Like, this is dumb. I took off my jacket, put it on the ground, and I was just like, got ready for whatever. I didn't know what this guy was gonna do. But he was being erratic, crazy, and I was just like, calm still. And security grabbed him and whatnot, and thanked me for stepping in between and whatnot. But what I realized in that moment was like the consistency of just training my brain and like just like training myself, putting myself in these situations to where what used to scare me and what used to like psych me out no longer did. I would have never expected that scenario for me to handle it like I did, that calm. I mean, I always wanted to. I would have always loved to just been like chill and like, street fighting sucks. Street fighting is scary. People can have weapons and you can get jumped or whatever. You never know what's going to happen. But being able to remain calm in that situation, I was able to, kind of calm the situation down to the best of my abilities without making shit worse by being a fuckboy, just like the other guy was. And that's kind of like how I've noticed that I also handle other situations. I basically handle everything calmly now. It is carried over into every part of my life. And I'm not just saying it's the martial arts, although I know that did help, but it's also just taking initiative and just being very stoic about things and kind of rolling with the punches and handling things when they show themselves, instead of, trying to avoid them or, just letting them like beat me up and eat away at me mentally or emotionally. Like I said, life is hard, but it's very simple. Do what you have to do to fix the things that you need to fix. Find ways to do that. And if that way doesn't work, find a new way to do it. Because if a problem is bothering you, if there's something that you can't fix and you can't change, there's no sense in letting it eat away at you. But if there's something that you can change, there's a way to change it. And you may not find that the first time that you attempt to fix this issue, but you will eventually if you keep trying and you don't let this thing beat you. So I know this isn't really it doesn't really have a place in a creepy TikTok reaction video, but I think it's a very important topic. And I'm very big on, emotional maturity and mental strength and whatnot. And I don't talk about this a lot because this is definitely separate from other things I've done, but I've written books. I've written a few books. And one of which is actually about overcoming issues, navigating life's ups and downs and kind of, learning from mistakes. And using them as leverage to kind of pull yourself up. So I don't know if you guys want to hear more about that side of me and that side of my life. I'll add some resources. Maybe I'll add a link to my books in the description for you guys moving forward or whatever. But I don't know, this shit's all important. Figured I'd just give my opinion on it and I'll add it to this. So, but I'm gonna end that here, and this TED Talk has gone on long enough. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Lucid Crew, you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for checking out and picking up my merch. The link is in the description. I'm super happy with this latest merch drop, inspired by you guys and what we do here, right? If you watch this video and you like it, you made it to this point, thank you. I appreciate you making it through all my rambling. I know you came here for creepy TikToks and to see me get freaked out and talk about things, but some of these topics got a little deeper and we got a little deeper in them, but that's not always the case. But I mean, it happened this time. So if you're still here, I appreciate you. And I thank you for your support, and consider liking, subscribing, and watching some old videos, because those are full of all kinds of creepy, weird shit, me getting scared and crying about ghosts and stuff. So they're not all this deep. But these are submitted videos by you guys, so I figured I would watch them, give them a chance, so thank you for that. And Lucid Crew, again, the moderators, you guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody in the Discord, sending me videos. And until next time, peace out.